May profits be upon you. Welcome to another weekly Forex forecast. You made it to 2025. Congratulations. Yay. All right. Join me. I'm talking to my viewers and my subscribers. Join me in trying to increase my subscriber base, all right, by sharing a link to these videos, by making sure that you don't forget to boost or to give me a thumbs up on the videos, and by making sure you subscribe and comment. I need you to subscribe, comment, like, and or boost. That's what I need in order to grow this channel. Now, that's what I'm asking of my viewers and my subscribers. What am I going to give you? I'm going to give you more value. One, I have not been concentrating, focusing on talking to the people that are not experienced traders, that don't have some kind of footing, some kind of handle on Forex trading. I have not been talking to you guys. I've just been giving out analysis and explaining little definitions here and there, but I will make sure to put a little more focus on my newer traders out there, all right, to help you along. I'm going to be your coach, all right? I'm going to be your mentor, and I'm doing it for free, all right? Catch me while it's free. I understand, catch me while it's free, but I need you to grow. I want you to grow, but I need feedback from you, so make sure you like and subscribe and comment, all right? And make sure you share. That's all I'm asking, all right? I'm going to be doing some things a little differently this year, and you will see the changes. I'm not going to keep talking about, hey, expect this, expect that. No, you'll see the changes. I'm not going to be talking about it. That's ridiculous. Okay. All right. Now, as far as the week ahead is concerned, we're going to start with the US dollar index like we always start out with. All right. The US dollar index, I am in the short term, I am bullish. I am bullish on this. Why? Because it's strong. All right. Look how it's been. This is the monthly time frame, and you can see after a long period here on this level, we distributed to the upside. All right. And now look what we're doing. Long period here. All right. Just moving sideways until we finally break out above it here. All right. That's what we're talking about here. It's bullish. And there's right now, up until up until Friday, there was no reason to think in terms of the market's going to turn around. All right. But what did we do? We ran into this area of supply. This is an area where I think price will turn around. All right. And it'll be for a longer term pullback. All right. Now, I don't know exactly where that pullback will go to. Maybe it will go right about here, because this is about around the 50% of the this trading range. All right. And this bullish imbalance, all right, so otherwise known as a fair value gap, could be the area where price could find support. All right, and maybe price will turn back up here, because this is the area that price broke out right around here. So I'm looking for price to come back in that area, and we'll see what happens once it does. We'll reassess once it gets down that area. But I'm pretty confident that a price is going to take a longer term pullback. Now, let's go to the weekly so we can get a better view of this. All right. If we look at the weekly, what do I got there? OHLC there. That's an open high, low close candle. And that's what I'm expecting for this week or coming. All right. You can see price was bullish here. Just before Christmas. Then we had the holiday week, which is a very low volume candle, right? And then last week we closed bullishly, pushing higher into this area of supply and to the pip. I'm talking about precision. All right, to the pip, we see price pulling back. I think this pullback will find some continuation in this week, week approaching, and we will see price come down and open here, pushing down, maybe to test this low, maybe even to test that low. I mean, that high, these two highs, all right, and then turning back up and going further, taking out this buy side liquidity, and probably not reaching the high, the midpoint, the 50%, that what some people call the consummate encroachment, the 50% of this area of supply. I think that we'll probably turn around before we get up there. But I do think there will be a small period of weakness followed by some strength, but it's all short term. All right, this is the daily. All right, what do we have under current price? All right, price closed bearishly on Friday. All right, with a small wick. All right, there's a lot of what do you call momentum in this candle, because you see there's hardly any wick, very small wicks. All right, so it kind of indicates how bullish things were and how bearish things were. And I'm looking for price to open here, right? Dive into this fair value gap and then turn around and end up something like that. Actually, I wanted that over here. All right, this will be the candle. Excuse my drawing. I think it'll start down here and then turn around and take this take the buy side liquidity there. But that's what I'm looking for, you know, going into the markets with expectations only open you up for disappointment. So I'm just saying that we see the pullback started on Thursday. We found a continuation on Friday. I'm thinking if this candle is its own range, we'll come back around 50%, and I would be looking for price to find its footing and go up higher. That's just why I got this thing here. Now, price could come all the way down to this volume imbalance and then turn around. All right, but it may wick down here, but all that is to say, I'm thinking this will be the site where price finds its footing, finds support, and continues higher. All right. Once it gets up here, once it takes that high, I wouldn't be buying the US dollar, not into supply. Nope. Excuse me. All right. No, I wouldn't. I would be on the side of waiting until I see price break structure to the downside. Now, if price continues bearish from here and takes out this bullish fair value gap, all right. Once it gets past here, I would consider it a market structure shift, all right, from shifting from bullish to bearish. And I would be looking for short setups as price pulls back into that bearish leg. But that's a whole nother matter, okay? And this bullish fair value gap will likely become inverted, and we would see price take out this low. All right, because we're talking about what is the low that made this high, this one. All right, and I didn't choose a doji, I chose this one. This was a decisive candle. There was a push, a push up, down, and then up. All right, I'm looking at that low. Okay, and once price breaks that, I'm looking forward to come back into this leg of structure, find that support, I mean that resistance, and then continue down. But that's if the fair value gap doesn't hold. All right, it still has to get through all of this, and I don't think it's getting through this. I think we're going to find the support it needs to go higher. Okay, remember that push higher is going to be short term. All right, now if we go down to the Euro USD, let's look at the weekly. I want you to pan out on this and ask me, do I think price is going down? Do I think it's bearish? Do I think after a lower high here relative to these. All right, a lower high here, a lower low here, a lower high here, a lower low here, a lower high here, a lower low here, a lower high here. Do I think we're going to be making a lower low? Do I think we're going to break this low? Do I really have to answer that after what I just illustrated? Of course, it's going low. All right. Could we find a footing here and price just takes off to the upside? Sure. Is it likely? No, no, not in my book. All right. This is a weak low. What makes it weak? Because it didn't make a new high. The low here was created by a high here. This high created a new low. That's its only job. It did its job. This low is supposed to make a new high. It did not. Okay, it did not. All right, that means it becomes liquidated, and we are heading towards that liquidation. Yes, I think we're going to take this low out. All right, and I think next week, we should be creating. See how the candle closed bearishly below this low, below that low. We took out that sell side liquidity there. All right, we had a nice respect being shown there, a nice respect candle. All right, but I think this wick gets filled. All right, I think we're going to create a fair value gap here. Once this weekly candle starts to form and closes, I think we will close as an open, high, low close. Open, high, low close. And I think that'll be even clearer on the daily, because what do we have? What we have here is a failure to communicate. No, what we have here is a fair value gap, a bearish fair value gap that was created after Friday's close. This looks like a Maribusu candle, doesn't it? All right, look that up, Maribusu. All right, it's very bullish. All right, but what we want to see, just like the inverse that we saw in the US dollar index, the Euro USD is the inverse of that market. Essentially, I'm looking for price to quite possibly go up in here, find its support. Find its resistance, and then continue down to take this sell side liquidity and go for the big sell side liquidity, the larger one down here. This looks like this may be low resistance liquidity to come and get, my friends. And once we get down here, I don't think it'll be much in the way to hold us off from going down to the very to this low. Between this one and this one may be troublesome, but I believe these two will be one sweep. Boom. But we'll see next week. All right. A pullback and then down. Remember what I said about the US dollar index? Down. We're near that fair value gap. Remember, we have the fair value gap. Actually, I could just go to it. We got the fair value gap up here. All right. Momentary weakness. A pull up into the fair value gap. The supply up here, and then I'm looking for price to turn over for a longer term pullback where we take out this low. You know, we may not get that far. We may get here, but I'm thinking we're going to take this low out, honestly. All right, but how would that affect the euro? It'll pull it down. Once we take out these lows, the one that's under here and that ultimate low down here, it's gonna be a stronger pullback. Just remember, there's parity down here at the 1.0000. All right. Once we get down to parity with the dollar, all right, it'll be a quick pullback, because that's what happened here, right? It'll be a quick down and then up. But we're probably getting down there because that parity number is like a magnet. When you get closer, the closer you get, the faster it's going to go. And then we'll probably pop right back up. You remember what I said. Okay. All right. Let's go to the British pound. the pound. All right, if we go to the weekly very quickly, it's very similar to the euro, except that it's not all the way down. In the euro, you saw that I was talking about lower, low, lower, high, lower, 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 high, lower, low. Easy, right? That's not the same thing here. All right, you can see price was pushing higher here. All right, yeah, we made this high, then we went sideways. We finally took that high, boop, and then we're dropping. Why are we dropping? Why the pound weak? US dollar is bringing it down, and because the US dollar is strong. But once we take these liquidity lows, I can't seem to draw. All right, once we take these liquidity lows here, all right, we took the liquidity here, and we're heading towards that. Make no mistake about that. All right, we'll be coming down to this low, and I think there's a good chance that we sweep that low, these lows. But let's focus on the first target. All right, and you see how bearish we broke this low and this low. You see how bearish we broke here, and we closed below it. I'm looking for price to pull back. All right, into what I believe will be a fair value gap once the new weekly candle closes, just like in the euro, and price could use that to go lower. Okay, if we go to the daily, we're going to see the same thing we saw in the euro. There's a fair value gap from which price could go down lower from. All right, I'm looking for price to come up into that fair value gap, boop, 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 and then dive towards that sell side liquidity. Let's move on. The Aussie I don't like. All right, one of the reasons why is because we took this low, we took these lows, all the sell side liquidity, and what are we doing now? We're drizzling. All right, drizzling down. I don't like drizzles. I don't like drizzles. Drizzles are ridiculous. They're miserable. All right. There's no definitive direction here. All right. After an impulse move down, we didn't get the correction up. What you can see is this market likes to drizzle. All right. Yeah, we got a strong move down here. Then it moves sideways. Then we're chopping down, drizzling. I don't like that. I don't like that. I don't like this market. There are better markets to trade. All right, we would have to go down to the 4-hour and hourly to find trades, and I don't want to look inside of this mess, this choppy mess. All right, to look for trades. So I'm moving on. All right, if we go to the New Zealand dollar, that's not a good market to trade in. No. All right, in the New Zealand dollar though, all right, yes, it's similar to the Aussie dollar because you can see we took out a very important low. We haven't had a significant pullback, all right, as of yet. And we are heading down to this sell side liquidity here. Now, what is that sell side liquidity there? This low. All right, this low here. Is that the point? All right, or was the point here? All right, I'm looking at this low being taken here, and I want to watch to see if the market is going to turn around here. Now, what I want you to do, walk with me. All right. See this move? This is the only reason why I think this is a better market than the Aussie dollar, because it was a definitive move. Price pushed higher, bought higher, swept this high. All right. Swept that high, swept this high. So there was some buy side liquidity taken. Also, it tapped into this weekly fair value gap. Let's go to the weekly real quick. You can see price reached back up into that. Let me get rid of this for a second. All right. You see price created this fair value gap here. All right. And then reached back up into that and continued bearishly. All right. It's closing below the previous low, the previous weekly low, which is the holiday weekend. All right. So the holiday week. So I like this one heading down. I think this one shows us a little bit more than the Aussie. So what I took away was this is an area of supply. All right. There was a buy up before the sharp sell off. What do I wait? What do you wait on for price to come back into that area? Price did come back into this area of supply. You see the rejection candle there. It's a candle wick of respect. All right, and price filled more than about 60% of that wick. All right, going back into that supply. If it takes this high, I'm looking for price to turn over here. All right, if price continues up here, then I'll wait. Then I will wait. All right, because I'll be looking to see if it gets past this weekly 50% area of the fair value gap. All right, but I'm not taking buys until this market gets past this here. All right, I'm not taking any buys in this market until I get a what is this? A significant, I want to see a significant market structure shift. All right, I want to see a shift in the market from bearish to bullish. All right, this one, when it breaks up and goes into this high here, and if it leaves, let me be clear. All right, let's see if I can get rid of that. Let me be clear. If we get a tall push, we get a tall push into this market, and we sweep all of these highs, and we get a candle like this, but a bullish candle going up in here. Why did that squiggle? All right, going up into here, and it leaves behind fair value gaps, bullish fair value gaps. Then I can see price going up higher. All right, I need to see a structure shift, a market structure shift above those highs. All right, right now this high is a protected high. As long as it's a protected high, all right, I'm looking for shorts. I would be looking for shorts. All right, but let me get that. Where's my? There it is. All right, but if price breaks that and closes through it, then I'll be looking at it as a market structure shift from bearish to bullish, and then I would be looking for longs. But right now, I'm looking for shorts down to the sell side liquidity. You hear me? I hope you understood, because I tried to clarify myself. All right, and what do we got here? What's next? That was a New Zealand dollar, right? Okay, all right, I'm sorry. All right, we're looking at Canadian dollar. All right, the Canadian dollar. This is actual, and I'm looking at Canadian dollar futures now. So CAD futures are CAD USD. This is not USD CAD. This is the exact opposite, the inverse. So I'm talking about CAD weakness. Obviously, it's weak because we've been making lower lows and lower highs all the way down here, and we finally took this low Thursday. If I'm not mistaken, it wasn't Thursday. No, actually, it was Wednesday. All right, it wasn't Wednesday. It was 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, actually, when we took that low. And then last week we took the low. We went beyond those lows for the Christmas week and the week prior. So it's still bearish, but it's baby teeth bearish. All right, look at these impulsive looking candles here, and then look at the last two. This isn't, I'm not over the moon with that. All right, this looks like it's preparing. It looks like it's preparing to turn around. That's what it looks like. All right, if we go to the daily, what do we got here? We got all of this consolidation. It's not looking very different than the Aussie dollar. Lots of consolidation. All right, what I need to see is a definitive move to the downside. Okay, if we go into this, there's a move in here. All right, but when I got to go down to the 4 hour and the 1 hour to look for the next move and everything, it's not a good deal. All right, this high is the high that I'm looking for. All right, it's an area right now that created the low, and it is my mark. This is what I would mark as my market structure shift. If price goes past this, then I'll be looking for a price to turn around. All right, I'm looking for those signs right now. This swept all of these lows. All right, swept the lows. All right, so right now I'm looking for price to go back up into this area, and this is where I would mark my supply. Very much like what I just did with the New Zealand dollar. When price comes up into, if price comes back up into this, I'm looking for a price to turn around. And we do have, wow, look at that. We have a volume imbalance up here where price tends to use as a reaction point. So I'm gonna keep my eye on that. And that's right up within this area of supply. So when price comes back up in here, all right, I'm definitely going to be looking for this high to hold. If this high does not hold and price does exactly what I just explained with the New Zealand dollar, if it breaks above, I'm looking for it to pull back and continue higher. Yeah, yeah, yeah. All right. That's exactly what I'm doing. So look at this as an area that if price breaks out, it's going to come back. It's going to come back, and it'll represent some really sturdy resistance. Or if it breaks out this way, it's going to act as support. But this is the area that I'm looking for, and this is the protected high. So right now, a little momentary pullback, and then let the US dollar pull it back down as it shows strength, the short-term strength I've been talking about since earlier. Okay. Well, I don't know what's happening. There you go. All right. Now, let's move on. What do we got? Come on, man. I'm not doing USDCAD. You just take what I just said earlier and do the opposite. All right. Up, or if this doesn't hold, that low doesn't hold, then I'll be looking for a price to start to pull back. Okay. Right now, USD CAD, I would be bullish in. All right. Now, let's see if I can just get to it. Yeah, Swiss franc. Swiss franc is not very different. All right. I want you to see the weekly. What you can see is we've closed below the low of the previous week. That usually means that we got more bearishness to come. All right. The next candle should at the very least take the low of the current candle, the last candle standing. So I'm looking for price to take that low. That would be my first sell side liquidity target. And where is that at? Okay, good. All right. But this is the low I think we are heading towards. I think because we had a swing failure that didn't break the previous swing high. All right. We broke structure here to the downside. We pulled back into this bearish leg of structure, found the resistance, and then continued lower. I think we're going to do the exact same thing again. A lower low, a lower high. That's all. Lower low, lower high, lower low. I'm looking for a price to find the support to turn back into this bearish leg of structure so we can work on the lower high. And right now we are at the lower low point. All right. We just have to look to see when will the pullback begin. And usually it begins after an external range liquidity is taken. All right. This is, sorry, my voice. I need some water. This external range liquidity was taken here. All right. And that happened on Wednesday. No, that happened 3 weeks ago. I'm still looking at the weekly chart. I'm sorry. All right. So it could turn around at any time, but we are running into this up, down, and up, this area of demand. So this thing could turn around at any point. We just took We just took that low over here that I mentioned earlier, all right, which is why I have that line over there. So I want to show you something on the daily, all right? On the daily, what we have here. I said the gap ups were invalidated, meaning you see how price closed here, but it opened here, right? Which is a gap. Same thing here. Actually, this one has a smaller one. This one has a larger one. There's three of them, all right? And each one would mean that people were enthusiastic about, traders were enthusiastic about buying this, anticipating the turnaround. They were buying up. They were looking to buy instead of selling, or otherwise it would have gapped down. They was thinking it was going to gap up. No, it went against it. It went against it. It went against it. Okay. So what is that telling you? What does that tell you? That there's some bearish intent by market makers, all right, and they're taking people out of trades. This thing could turn around at any point, and people were anticipating that turnaround. This could be the beginning of that pullback. It could be, but what I want you to see, this is the daily, all right. Price is pulling up, all right, into this respect wick, right? And you say, so what does that mean? What is that? Price came all the way up. It eliminated the it almost eliminated the fair value gap. I want to move this so you don't get distracted. All right. You see this fair value gap here? It's a bearish fair value gap, small, very slight. All right. But you can see it. All right. And price came back up and choked and pulled away from it. All right. The next candle could go up into that same fair value gap to test it for the first time. All right. To test it. And it could find the resistance there and continue down the line, or it could violate it. It could disregard it and head up towards that high. All right. We will see. Is this the beginning of a pullback? I don't know. All right. But what I think is we'll probably find price turning around because of the strength of the US dollar. All right. The US dollar is going to drag this down. All right. So I'm not trying to buy this market. Not now. No, sir. No, 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 no. I will not. You can if you'd like to, but I will not. All right. But if you go down to the 4-hour, this is the only, it's very rare. I'll do this. All right. You can see that this is the supply area. All right. And price is pushing up into that supply. All right. You see that the fair value gap is there from the that was on the weekly. All right. It was established there. It hasn't been retested yet. And it's right below this supply. I'm thinking price has a couple of good reasons that are overlapping each other to turn around and head down. All right. So that's my analysis on Canadian dollar. And if we go down, yeah, that was the Canadian dollar, right? No, actually, I'm sorry. This isn't Canadian dollar. This is the Swiss franc. I'm sorry. This is the Swiss franc that I just gave you that on. Now, as far as the US dollar Swiss franc, think about the opposite of what I just said. We're getting ready to go down into an area of demand instead of it being supply and finding good reason to turn around and head higher. US dollar franc, all right, I am bullish on. All right, there's very little reason to think in terms of bearishness in the US dollar franc. All right, but the Swiss franc futures, I am bearish on because it is weak. You understand? Okay, good. All right, yen, last one in the FX. All right, in the yen, let's go to the weekly. Is there any reason to buy this market? This is the weekly. Is there any reason to buy this market? Huh? Anybody who said yes, you need to do something else. All right. You need to, go get some scratch offs at the gas station and have at it. All right. Leave trading alone. All right. But I want you to see something. There's something called the measured move, right? This is the weekly. All right. There's something called the measured move where you take a straight line, like the one I'm going to draw from this high to this low. All right. You see how that bearish leg? I'm thinking that bearish leg is going to repeat itself. So you put this line, the top of it, here at the top of that next swing high. And this would be 100% of that move. 100%. A lot of times you'll find it reaches the 80%, which it already has, and then goes on to reach the 100%. But most of the time it hits that 80%. All right. Less times, but quite frequently it hits 100% of the move. I am very confident that the U.S. That the Japanese yen is weak and will likely hit that 100%. All right. I said that when it was up here. Right. I said, we're coming down to that low. If you're watching my videos, you know I don't need to show you the old video. All right. I said it's weak and it's just going to continue down. And it just it just keeps going down. That's it. All right. And just remember the Japanese futures are JPY USD. The JPY is your main, is your heavy, and the US dollar is its paired counterpart. All right. In FX brokers, okay. All right, let me get it. I can't get it, apparently. All right. Well, I want to go. I don't understand. All right. Something's not working right, and I don't know what it is. In the US dollar JPY, I'm looking at just the opposite. It's bullish. It's going to continue bullish because it's US dollar bringing it up. We could be heading towards that high, and even when the US dollar starts to pull back, the yen will continue to underperform. All right, but up until that point, this becomes our main objective in the US dollar Japanese yen. All right. US dollar Japanese yen, the FX broker one. All right. This is where this is the goal here. All right. To hit that. All right. We have a fair value gap under there. Price could come and continue higher. But in the Japanese yen futures, down we go all the way. Got a fair value gap here, a weekly fair value gap here to continue down from. Got it? Good. Now, I'm not sure how long we've been at this, but I am about to go over the, I'm going to go over the what do you call these? The indices, the S&P, the NASDAQ, the Dow, the oil. What is that? Oil? Yeah. Crude oil, gold, silver, and maybe platinum and copper. All right. I'm gonna go over those in a separate video. All right. But you just got all of the FX pairs. I hope you hung out to the, just congratulate you. I want to congratulate you and thank you for those that stayed to the end of this video. I really appreciate it. You're somebody that's trying to learn, and you need to ask some questions about market structure. You need to ask some questions about entries. I'm telling you, yeah, it's going in this way. I'm giving you the bias. I'm giving you the direction that you should be looking at in this week, all throughout the week, not just Monday. You understand? All right. So you need to ask questions like, well, what happens when it gets here? You know, what happens when it gets up? You look for your sell setup and you ask, what is a sell setup? I will tell you. All right. Ask me for the video. Ask me for some how-to. All right. This is the mission I'm on this year, 2025. Thank you for watching the video. Thank you for giving me a like, a boost, and leaving a comment. All right. Give me all of that. All right. That's the stuff that'll help my channel grow. Thank you. And may profits be upon you. I will see you in the next video.